Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Eternal Sonata playthrough. It is now time to listen to the beauty that is Raindrops, and also to get a history lesson about Frédéric Francois Chopin. George Sand. It is impossible to tell the story of Chopin's life without mention of this woman. George Sand was an extremely famous author in Paris who had already published numerous books. Her real name was Aurore Dudevant. George Sand was her pseudonym. From 1838, Chopin would share his life with her for a long period. But when they first met, he commented to a friend, "Is that really a woman?" Sand was a somewhat masculine woman who wore pants and smoked cigars in public. Even her pseudonym, George Sand, was masculine. She was unswayed by society's mores and expressed herself unabashedly. The romance novels she wrote were extremely popular. Of course, Chopin himself was also famous as a pianist in Paris by this time. The relationship between the genius pianist and the popular author must surely have been the talk of the town. At the time, Chopin was not in the best of health, and perhaps the attention paid to them by society aggravated his condition. During this time, Sand took Chopin to the Spanish island of Majorca to allow him to rest. To avoid attention, they left Paris separately and rendezvoused at a village near the border. They found a place to live on Majorca, and Chopin lived a happy life amongst the palm trees, orange trees and pomegranates. Chopin's health appeared to be improving, but the island entered its rainy season and the warm weather vanished. Chopin caught a cold that eventually led to a relapse of tuberculosis symptoms. At the time, tuberculosis was a terminal illness, and Chopin and Sand's landlord evicted them, fearing contagion. After being forced from their home in 1839, Chopin and Sand arrived at the Valdemosa monastery. And rain continued to fall outside. The sound of falling rain continued incessantly. The simple sound of raindrops blended together to form a dreary rhythm. It was under these circumstances that this song is said to have been born in a room in Valdemosa. A work created by Chopin at age 29. The journey to find rest ironically resulted in the worsening of Chopin's health. But George Sand devotedly stayed by Chopin's side, never fearing infection. There is little doubt that she was an invaluable source of comfort for Chopin.
Oh, looks like it's finally started raining.
You know, the rain makes the plants look even more alive.
For Chinodo's flowers, the rain is a blessing from heaven.
And so we return to Polka and Frederick, and those little interludes with the actual pieces of Chopin's music I just find so beautiful. Obviously, I am going to be talking over them and reading those stories about Chopin's life, because partially trying to avoid content ID claims, because that's always fun, isn't it? But also, they're just really beautiful pieces, because you get to enjoy that wonderful music that Chopin created. But also, you get to learn about the man, and as I said, part of the whole point of this game was Hiroya Hatsushiba, who directed the game, wanted people to learn about the man behind the music. And this is sort of a perfect way of achieving that, because it does make you pay attention, and it's just really effective. And I mean, those compositions are performed by the Russian pianist Stanislav Bunin, who presented in 5.1 surround sound. And it's just beautiful. Now, I believe, so Stanislav Bunin is, I think, a very well-known man in terms of Chopin's music. So in 1985, after a series of prizes, he won first prize and the gold medal in the 11th International Frédéric Chopin Piano Competition in Warsaw. But what's actually quite cool is that he then spent much of the next decade in Japan, teaching for 6 years at Senzoku Gakuen Music College in the city of Kawasaki, because his wife was Japanese. Having obtained German citizenship, in 2012 he was a resident in Japan. So he pretty much, I think, spent quite a lot of the most recent years in Japan, as far as I can tell. And that's obviously why, well, my suspicion of why the team behind the game went to him to do the recordings, because clearly he was a known entity in Japan in terms of dealing with Chopin. And that's just awesome. And what I do also love is that each chapter revolves around one of these songs. And so we're going to get, I believe it's 6 pieces of, well, okay, so it's 7 of Chopin's compositions that are performed throughout the game. And they are all beautiful. There are some which I think are also stunning that aren't included. I think there's one called Waterfall, which is gorgeous, but we don't hear that one. But yeah, they just make me so excited. They really do. And I like that when we're going through the Go-Go Forest as Frederick and Polka, we end up having to face like 3 great coconuts at once. Great for levels, not so great for the fact of Polka doesn't really unleash a lot of damage. She's relatively weak. That's largely because she's primarily a healer character. And something that I actually found out, which is quite funny, is that Orange Glow does heal other people. It just goes for the person who is in range with the lowest amount of health. Which is really nice, actually. But, as I said, there's a move later on in the game with a later protagonist, party member, that just completely outclasses Polka. I mean, really? So of the initial starting 4 that we work with, the 2 characters that most players I feel tend to stick with are Frederick and Allegretto, because they're the ones that output the most amount of damage, and so they're generally the ones who you want to keep around, also because they tend to have more health, either Polka or Beat. So they kind of end up getting pushed to the side a little bit, which I'm going to actively avoid in this playthrough, because you can easily tell that we are going to have the 2 groups meet up, and that's going to be wonderful. But when that finally occurs, which is actually very soon, you can only have 3 party members in battle at once, which means that one member will always be out of battle and therefore will not be gaining as much experience as the rest of the team. I think they gain like a little bit, but it's nowhere near as much as the people in battle, which just totally makes sense. So what I'll be doing is I will be rotating my team as I go. So whenever anybody gets a level up, I'm going to flip in the next person so that we keep everyone at pretty much a consistent level.
Let me buy, okay?
Because, one, there are situations later on in the game where our party will get split up and we will be forced to use forced to use characters that we may not have necessarily used much, and therefore if they're under level, the battles are going to be much more difficult. So, in trying to keep everyone on a similar level playing field,
Do not be ashamed.
that will at least make those parts of the game more bearable, because I won't have to be grinding quite so much to cope. Because there could be a situation, and I'm pretty sure there is, where you end up with, like, I think Polka and Beat in the same party. There are other characters which you're probably going to use more, but that can be a very dangerous combination, because obviously Polka and Beat are not the most powerful, they also don't have the most health, and yeah, that can be a bit of a problem. So, I'm just going to rotate, as I've said. That was a bit of a blather and a ramble to get to that moment, but you see my point.
Listen, più grave. Now.
And something else that somebody pointed out to me in the comment, I think it was actually. So, obviously each of the weapons in this game have some relation to music. And obviously I was just like, so what is Polka's umbrella all about? Well, it's a parasol technically, but you may notice like little pieces on it, and effectively it sort of looks almost flutish in a way. And actually, I'm going to see if on the Eternal Sonata wiki there is a statement about exactly what her weapon is based on, because that would be nice. And no, it does not, which is really irritating. But oh well.
It's starting to thunder now, too.
We should get out of this storm. Is there some place around here where we can take shelter?
I don't know. Hold on a second. Someone's coming.
Oh, why hello there. Are you two out looking for something in this wretched weather? I am looking for something myself, but I'm learning that it's not such an easy task when it's pouring down rain like this. Perhaps you wouldn't mind providing me with entertainment to ease my frustration.
What?
I really do hate it when my clothes get wet. And here I find the two of you just as I was starting to get irritated. I can't stand the smell of this forest.
So, yeah, we have a boss fight
Coming from you people.
with this weirdo. I don't think it's going to end well for us, I feel. And yeah, no. Yeah, we really don't stand much of a chance against this guy. Look, he's not even bothered.
You will rest.
What a sod. You can probably tell you're not going to survive this fight, but it's part of the story, so it's all okay. We're not getting a game over just yet.
Oh dear, what am I doing? I really don't have time to play around here with the likes of you. I need to go find that glowing creature. Thank you kindly for the workout. It helped me relieve some stress. I think I should be able to get back to my work now. I'm very grateful to both of you.
Oh, finally. It looks as though the thunderstorm has passed. How is Frederick's condition?
Better. He appears to have settled down somewhat, just like the weather outside.
I hope he's all right.
His violent spasms have stopped for the time being. I think he's all right for now. He looks peaceful again.
Perhaps he was startled by the lightning. Maybe that's what caused his seizure.
Yes, madam, that may very well be true. But I have a suspicion that that wasn't the only cause. I think tonight will be crucial to his recovery.